It's not 8 o'clock though.
This conference will now be recorded.
I'd like to call the Village Site Plan Review Committee to order. Roll call, please.
Merrick Podolsky,
Here.
Gary Paul,
Here.
Dan Pamperin,
Here.
Andy Krosky,
Here.
Dale Quinn,
Here.
and Atkinson and Persick are excused.
Please stand for the pledge.
Boy, am I messed up.
And please remember our men and women throughout the world in uniform.
Title for a short.
Thank you.
Yeah, title.
Okay, I have no changes to the agenda. I need a motion to approve, please.
Move to approve as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I need a motion to approve the site plan minutes from March 15th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve those minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Number 6, review plans for the following locations. 6A, action on request by Titletown Apartment Development, LLC, for proposed temporary now leasing banner located at 1162 Brookwood Drive, parcel VA-1512. Okay, Aaron.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. The requested temporary banner here is for the Titletown Flats apartment building you're all familiar with over on Brookwood Drive. They're requesting a banner, approximately 12 by 24, as identified in the rendering, to advertise the leasing and phone number for the leasing office. It's approximately 288 square feet. Since the sign exceeds 64 square feet, approval by the site plan review committee is required. And then similar to other signs such as Spirit Halloween or Halloween Express earlier in the year or later last year, they are asking for a little longer time period to expire on December 31st, 2022. As staff, we had no recommended conditions of approval, and we are fine with this, based upon primarily because a couple of years ago we approved a similar banner for the Marina office building, which actually was roughly a little under twice the size of this one.
Aaron, when we approve of this and the expiration date comes up, can they come back and get a extension on that, or does that have to come back through site plan?
They can certainly get an extension on it. I guess I'd probably, if you're looking at that and you want to give that to staff, I'd ask for you to identify a time period at this point. Otherwise, we would just bring it back through site plan review committee as an amendment.
I know the ones we've done in the past were not quite this length of time, but we know we want to get that rented out for them. That's on that north wall facing Lombardi, I'm assuming.
Correct.
Where there's enough masonry there. All right, there's no other questions. I'll move to approve as presented here, with the expiration of December 31 of 2022.
I have just one question, Aaron. Is that extension based on?
Can I have a second? Andy, do you want to second it, and then we can discuss
Yeah,
it?
I'll second.
Okay.
Yes. Is that based on the capacity of what they're getting to or what they're going to have, and so then they can't come back for an extension?
I can't speak to where they're at as far as their leasing. I'm not sure where they're at on that. In terms of, I think they identified this due date or this expiration date as adequate. I think if they decide they want to have anything longer, we can always bring it back for an extension.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Andy, can you slide your mic over a little bit? Thank you. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Does anybody else have any questions, comments, concerns? Okay, motion and a second to approve with the December 31st expiration date. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, 6B, action regarding Bay Park Square PUD amendment for Hy-Vee signage at 2395 South Oneida Street, parcel VA-132-1-4. Aaron?
Okay, the planned unit development overlay for the Bay Park Square Shopping Center, shopping mall, when it was put in place, I guess never really conceived of anything other than department stores or inline stores at the mall. Pretty typical of development back then. So the signage was really geared towards department stores or exterior signage. So if you think back to Yonkers or Shopko, rather minimal signage to advertise, of course, the department store. Hy-Vee being a grocery store with multiple different, I guess, components to it. So of course they have Hy-Vee, they also have Wahlburgers, they have the spirits and wine section, so on and so forth. What they propose as a grocery store certainly does not fit within the confines or constructs of the existing planned unit development. In order to accommodate what they need to operate as a grocery store or multi-purpose store in this location, they have submitted a comprehensive sign package for that property. And as proposed, what I'm recommending we do is amend the PUD for this parcel, because Hy-Vee is on its own parcel of land, for this sign package specifically. So basically, we're amending the PUD for this sign package. Any changes to this sign package would need to be brought back through Site Plan Review Committee, Plan Commission, and Village Board to further amend the PUD. The remaining stores are still subject to the existing PUD requirements for signage. So this PUD amendment is strictly for the Hy-Vee parcel of land, again, to accommodate a use that just wasn't contemplated in the original PUD.
Any questions?
Aaron, looking at 6BD, is that kind of the recommendation they're looking for in signage?
So the package that was submitted is what they're looking for signage. So the package that's in the agenda packet is what they're looking for.
And that would be the reason for the amendment
Correct.
that you're looking at. Being that type of store, I guess I'm just thinking of other stores of its nature in that grocery business / retail. I don't know if they all come in front. I'm looking at a particular community that's not ours, but I know there's a lot of signage around it, understanding why for entrance, exits, different things that pertain to that particular business. I can understand that, so I can understand why they're asking for all this signage. I don't know. Let's see what else people have to say.
Aaron, did you ever add up all the square footage and then figure out, are we at some kind of norm?
Yeah, I looked at it overall, in terms of the overall building itself. If you look at the elevations,
Yeah.
you know, it doesn't look like it's out of, I don't say out of whack, I guess for a non-technical term. It's certainly proportional to the exterior elevations that are there. You know, nothing really jumps out at me as being really out of line with what would be expected for a typical grocery store.
But this isn't a typical grocery store, right?
Correct.
I mean, that, to me, that's kind of indicates that you got to advertise everything that you got in the building, which is more than just grocery store.
That is true. Mhm.
And remind me, Shopko would come almost every year and ask for a whole bunch of window decals or something like that when the Packer season, when they,
Okay.
Yeah.
so even Shopko was short on signage, or not Shopko, I'm sorry.
Yeah, shop.
There was Shopko that was there, but
Yeah.
unfortunately that was
Would they
before.
always come and ask for Packer signage or Packer decals in the windows?
I don't know. I didn't deal with that one at all.
Yeah, I think they
You
did.
did.
Yeah,
They always come and ask, you wanted to put all the Packer stuff in.
Yeah, they did, didn't they have a bunch of windowscape
Yeah.
on the windows that
Oh, this
I
is a
believe were there temporarily for Packer reasons?
Could be.
For the
I guess I can't speak to
They were
that.
promoting something to do with the
Apparel.
Packers.
Yeah.
Is it apparel?
Yeah, and
Okay.
every year.
Which we do include a signage,
Right.
so. I don't know, I personally, I don't have a problem on it. I think a store of that size, I'm assuming, I just went over some of the sizes here. Where the large signs are in a area where, you know, you're going to want that signage to be big so that it can come out. But when you look at the additional signage, you know, it's under the 2-foot mark, which, you know, every inch is 10 feet of impact reading. So I don't know. It's something new to us. We've never had something of this significant in signage come before us before, but, you know, I look around a lot of areas as I move around the country here to go to a warmer climate in the winter. I think we got to be a little more open-minded on what we're doing. Dan, I know you do some traveling.
Yeah, so,
you know,
I'm totally okay with
A
it.
lot of things happening that probably could be new to this area, so
And I
having an
actually should
open mind
also-
on it, I think we got to roll with this and see how it looks.
Sorry, Gary, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just also wanted to add that Simon Properties has approved the signage as required under the PUD. So Simon does have approval authority on all signage. They have approved this plan from Hy-Vee.
I
I'll
remember,
make a motion to,
okay, we have a
approve it.
motion to approve as presented,
as presented, yeah.
and a second by Dale. Before we go forward here, I do remember there was another retail store that was in quite a large building years ago, and there was a question about putting large signage on it. And when you have this mass of wall, I don't think any of the signage really looks out of place. I think it looks perfectly fine, so. Okay, with that being said, we have a motion and a second to approve the signage as presented.
Actually, it's a recommendation. It does
I'm
go to
sorry.
Plan Commission and Village Board.
I'm sorry, recommendation. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Okay, 6C, action regarding resubmitted site plan review for proposed senior housing and townhome development at 681 Mike McCarthy Way, parcel VA-56-4-1. Aaron?
Okay, this is a resubmittal of the senior housing and workforce townhome development that was submitted a couple of years ago. Its expiration actually expired. In the staff report, it says December 9th, 2022. That was a typo. It should be 2021, when the site plan actually expired a year after approval. Just due to financing costs of materials, so on and so forth. The project was fortunate enough to receive a grant of $4.7 million from the state to push it over the edge, push over the finish line. I'm sorry, not the edge, the finish line. So it's all set to go as financing is lined up, and the developer is chomping at the bit to get going on this. But because it did expire for site plan, we do have to bring it back through the process again. If you noticed in the packet, they did identify the original conditions of approval, and the developer put their response next to that as far as how they addressed those either conditions or concerns. You may notice in the rendering that you see on the screen, one of the conditions that was added at Village Board actually was the provision of covered parking. So that was added right here in the center for some covered parking for those cars. Otherwise, very minimal changes to the exterior of the building, just some small changes in allowable exterior materials. But other than that, it's basically the same as was previously approved. There were no additional conditions of approval from staff other than those that were originally listed and addressed. And since this is a site plan in the Sports Entertainment District, it does go to Plan Commission and Village Board for final approval.
Aaron, I do have one question. So under the exterior views, which is on packet page 55, it says here fiber cement panel with aluminum extrusions. Now those will be concealed fastener, right?
Correct. Yep, the extrusions would be for your drip edge, window frames, things like that.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, concealed fasteners are still a requirement of our code.
Okay.
Well, I know the last go-around we had with this, the parking was an issue. I think, Dan, you made a good point on that, what people want to walk to and from. At least the cars are covered. It's not a garage per se, but does help somewhat with the weather. Aaron, you said, and I have to rely on you, I did not read this word for word, but it's pretty much the same approval that we did the last time as far as what we've went through that period.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And Aaron, this is something that the village board is okay with?
Last time around, they were.
They were.
Yeah.
So they're okay with that use in that area?
Yes.
Dan, what was that?
The use, using that property for.
The usage, okay. All right, if there's no other questions, I'll move to approve as presented is there any, with the staff conditions?
We have a second.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve with staff conditions. Any more discussion, comments, concerns? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion-
When are we putting a shovel in the ground?
I'd probably refer to Mr. Donian on that question.
Oh,
Sig, if you wouldn't mind.
you know, we'd like to see something moving there.
Yeah, no, we have all of our, sorry, we have all of our equity lined up. We're really looking to wrap up these CDs and get them out to bid by the second, getting the numbers back by the second week of May, and we're hoping to close in that first week of June. So shovels will be,
So we can be there June 1 for ribbon cutting?
the year later will be the ribbon cutting. We'll do the.
No, with the groundbreaking.
The groundbreaking, yeah, and actually, in all seriousness, we should plan, we'd be happy to plan a little groundbreaking. We know that this project's been a long time.
Well, I'm teasing you about that.
Do something in June, we can do that.
We'd like to see that thing get rolling.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thanks for
you.
your support.
Thanks, Sig.
Yep.
Okay, 6D, action regarding site plan review for Green Bay Packaging Addition at 3300 Spirit Way, parcel VA-433. Aaron?
Okay, this is a very nice addition to the existing Green Bay packaging facility on Spirit Way. It's about 153,000 square foot. Kind of a mixture of uses, primarily interior truck dock, adhesive coating tanks, bathroom, break room facilities, small welcome center, meeting room, and production space for process lines. So again, you can see in the site plan here, it will be the addition out to the east side of the property. Everything in gray that you see here. I'll scroll down to the elevations. Exterior materials are the same as what is currently there, your precast concrete panels. There's some windows, truck docks, so on and so forth. Again, similar to the existing building on the property. They did request some relief on parking. Under our code, we require basically one parking space per 1,000 square feet of industrial space. This is primarily warehouse and process space. I think they're anticipating 35 new employees. So certainly to add all the additional parking for this amount of space without actually having people there didn't seem to make a whole lot of sense, quite honestly. So they did request some relief from that. And as staff, we're very comfortable with that request. If you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, representatives from I should go through the staff conditions quick. There were a couple of them. Just real quickly, Stormwater management was addressed as part of the 2013 design plan, so that's not an issue. From public safety, ensure the requirements for high-piled combustible storage are being met if applicable. Previous communication between public safety and project designers have already been established on this topic. From forestry, I know they've been in contact with Tim already on this issue. Consider substituting another cultivar of linden for the proposed Redmond linden. Due to the significant mess this cultivar creates, suggestions include Glenliven Little Leaf linden, Sterling Silver linden, or Harvest Gold linden. So again, they've been in contact with Tim on that already. If you have any questions regarding the site plan, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, representatives of Green Bay Packaging and their engineer are also in the audience.
Any questions?
Well, it meets all the requirements as we require here in the village. I'm looking at the total of 299 parking stalls. Are there that many going to be, or that's what's there now?
I'll refer that over to the project engineer on that one.
Could I have you come up and state your name and address for the record, please?
Oh, is there?
Helps when who's online. Helps with people online through the microphone.
Dustin Salter with Excel. If you want to just flip to site plan, C1.1.
I'll have to pull that up.
I don't remember all the numbers right off the top of my head, but we got that summarized on our civil plans there.
Okay, which one was that?
About one more. There you go. So if you go to the information table up there in the right-hand corner, there should be a little summary of what's there currently at the facility and then what we're adding. So yeah,
Here we go.
Yeah. So yeah, overall, the existing facility has about 275 spaces, and that's basically everywhere on the facility. There's going to be some rework of some parking areas, so we're going to be removing some, but then when it's all said and done, we'll also be adding about 34, so then the total, after construction would be 299.
So that'll bring it up to that total of 299 then?
Yep.
Is what you just
Yep.
said. All right. And that's adequate for you?
Yeah, we've worked through it with the owners here, and they're very comfortable with the existing parking that's out there, and then the additional parking that we're adding is essentially just for that welcome area there.
If I can ask the question, how many people you employ in there?
I'll refer to the owners on that one.
Pardon?
290,
Well, you do have that many people in there,
but
because that's kind of a automated warehouse. That's why I'm questioning it.
it is.
Yeah.
my seat there. Thanks.
Name and address for the record, please.
My name is Jeff Menzel. Address is 3250 South Ridge Road. We have roughly 280 to 290 employees, but this location serves as the coated products headquarters. So about 100 of those are office employees. The balance of them are working on shift. And so we have more than enough parking for everyone to work at all hours of the day.
Okay, all right, it's just, I didn't realize you had that many people in there.
Yep.
That caught me by surprise. Okay, not a problem then.
Okay, thank you. Okay. I'll entertain a motion.
Well, I'll make a motion
Second.
Here we have a motion and a second to
with staff.
approve the site plan with staff conditions for 3300 Spirit Way, parcel VA-433. Okay, everybody understands the motion. Any questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, number 7, department reports. Aaron.
We are in the recruiting process yet for our senior building inspector for plumbing. So if you know anyone who's out there that's interested, have them contact me. Other than that, we're holding our own. There are a lot of projects coming up that we're pretty excited about, not the least of which are the 4 that were presented here today. That said, we want to make sure we get Katie some help.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, number 8, items for next agenda.
We do have a couple, one small signage issue and another one.
Okay.
Can't think of it offhand.
Okay. Anybody has anything they'd like on the agenda? Give the office a call. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Andy Krosky, second by Dale Quinn to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
This conference